Right now, Earth has a diameter of about 12,700 kilometers. But what if, overnight, it shrank to just 1% of its current size? A tiny marble floating in space, barely 127 kilometers across. What would that mean for us? First, gravity would collapse. Earth's gravity depends on its mass, and if Earth is 100 times smaller, its mass shrinks dramatically. People would weigh almost nothing. You could jump kilometers into the sky with a single leap. Cars, buildings, and even oceans would struggle to stay grounded. A strong gust of wind could lift you off the surface and throw you into space. Human life, as we know it, would be nearly impossible without artificial gravity or anchors tying us down. The atmosphere would vanish too. A small Earth couldn't hold on to gases. Oxygen, nitrogen, and water vapor would drift into space, leaving the surface barren. Without air, there would be no breathing, no protection from meteors, and no shield against deadly radiation from space. Life would suffocate within minutes. The planet would turn into a lifeless rock, like the moon. And what about water? Oceans would evaporate and escape into space. Rivers, lakes, and rain would disappear forever. Without oceans, Earth's climate system would collapse. There would be no clouds, no storms, no rainbows, just a silent, dry desert world. Plants and animals wouldn't stand a chance. Humanity would be forced to hide underground, building pressurized domes with artificial air and water recycling systems. Orbiting the sun would also change. A smaller Earth has less gravity to keep the moon around, so the moon would drift away. Tides would vanish. Meanwhile, Earth itself might not be able to hold its place in orbit. Solar winds could push it slightly, like a leaf blown across a pond. Eventually, our tiny planet might be knocked out of the solar system entirely, drifting endlessly as a frozen rock. And if humans somehow adapted, daily life would look bizarre. Mountains would tower over the entire horizon, since the planet is so small. Space travel would become incredibly easy. You could launch a rocket into orbit with little more than fireworks. In fact, with enough training, a human could jump into orbit just by leaping high enough. Earth would feel less like a planet and more like a giant asteroid. But here's the ultimate irony. 100 times smaller Earth might not even form at all. Planets need a certain mass to hold themselves together. A tiny Earth could crumble apart under cosmic impacts, breaking into pieces that float away as space debris. Instead of a blue marble full of life, our home would just be a cluster of rocks. So, a mini Earth is fascinating to imagine, but terrifying to live on. Without gravity, atmosphere, or oceans, our world would be unrecognizable. It reminds us of how perfectly balanced our real planet is. Shrink it too much, and life disappears in an instant.